Okay, what's up? What's up, everybody? It's me, it's Doc in the house. Um, Filling in today. Jay Sims the Lion got an important event going on, and at the Book of Man, what we believe family comes first. This will come second, because those memories, those things that you do, they don't go away. I mean, if they disappear, you can't get them back. So his daughter's birthday is today, and he's spending some time there. He may drop in, he may not, and if he does, it's cool, and if he don't, that's cool too. I'm with it. Um, all right, so let me try to get this stuff here together here, man. Let me see what we got going on. I'm trying to work on a couple of things here. You see, I have my lights on, wearing my t-shirt, not dressed up today, none of that. But trying to get some technology together, get my stuff straight. So well, let me do this. Let me go ahead and get my lighting and stuff together the way it was. Alexa, turn off the side lights. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and turn that on, because we used to seeing that. We're gonna turn this on. All right, we back. We in the house. All right. Let's go ahead and talk for a minute. And I'm not going to stay too long. It's hard trying to keep up with all this stuff by yourself, man. I mean, keeping the conversation going, doing all that, nobody to really bounce stuff off of. So that makes it difficult. But I'm going to tell y'all this, man. This week has been interesting, to say the least. And the thing that was interesting, I'm gonna start off with this. Um, where are we taking our kids? What are we doing to our kids? Why is it that they think the way that they think? So I'm gonna bring y'all back to this thing here. I talked to a little girl this week, and I just kind of I mess around with them. Just kind of have fun, and that's how you build relationships with kids and with people. They got to know that you're a real person. So you talk to them about things that's not professional things. Just regular people stuff. So I was talking to this little girl, and she said something. But anyway, the crux of the whole thing was, I told her that I don't do things like that. I'm a good guy. And the look on her face, it was like a look of disgust. And the question she asked me was, so what? If you see somebody stealing, you gonna tell? What you gonna do, Doc? What you gonna do? Why is it that being a good person, being a good guy is a bad thing to some of our children? Why is that happening? Why is positive male role models such a deterrent? They it's like they want you to be positive, but they want you to be rough and dirty at the same time. And what's odd is that out of their mouth, they say things like that. Like, they look down on the good guy, or one of those things happen, but they still love you, and they still listen to what you say and follow what you say. So it's like this, it's a reaction to programming. It's like when people go against their own natures, that things happen. You can't be something you're not. And that's the lesson I learned a long time ago. Trying to be something you're not always ends up bad. My first year teaching, one of my mentors, he said, Doc, you know what? Man, don't go in here smiling. Don't show them your teeth. Because I worked at a rough inner city school, and that was his advice. His advice was, don't show your teeth at them. So here I go in there, and I was serious. I was stern. I kept my straight face on. I did all that. And those kids ate me alive. They saw right through who I was and what I was. It was tough. I mean, and the thing about with kids is like when you're trying to get them to do something, but it's like herding cats. If you ever run across a group of cats, they all gonna scatter, and you will try to get one, and the other ones are doing other things. But regardless of the fact, that's what happened with these children, and it never worked. They saw straight through that every time. So, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That only lasted about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks that lasted. That was it. So then, you know what? I decided to just be me. I've been me. Just saying jokes to the kids, they say, what? And I say chicken butt. Or they say, guess what? Chicken butt. Just something this goofy, just to kind of break down that exterior. And, talking with them about cartoons and video games, things like that. And for me, that worked out better. I got better results from just being myself and not being something else, not fighting my nature. Because the thing is that people are always slaves to their nature. And it's a constant battle against it. But what happens is people sometimes win the battle and sometimes they lose. And let me tell you what that looks like. That looks like when you want to do something, but you bite your tongue. Or, you want to jump down somebody's throat, but then you stop. It's a version of self-control, but we're always battling against our nature. And it's a battle that is waging on daily. And that's what this person was doing. These kids, that's where they are. They're battling their nature every day because they want to appear a certain way. They want to be a certain way. They want to do all of these things, but they it's an ongoing battle. But I'm saying this, and you might disagree, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Adults and kids are the same. Adults and kids are the exact same. Having taught children and having trained adults for many years, they are the exact same. The only difference is that the adults are bigger and they have money. So by that logic, the fighting against the nature happens to us all. So you have to realize and know that that's a thing that's happening. That fight against your own nature is happening. You have to know that you actually have things that you have a propensity to do. What are those things? Sit down. There's a video from Jordan Peterson. And I think we went over it last week, and it may be back in the live streams. Not last week, but the week before that. And he said, if you want to get to know yourself and figure out what you're doing wrong, sit down on the edge of the bed and just take a deep thought and evaluation of yourself with yourself. But the key is when you see that thing, you can't run from it. You can't be afraid of that one thing, that thing that's inside of you. You just know that's part of your nature. For example, you got folks out there that's, what they call hot blooded. They want to fight all the time. They want to do things that's contrary to what they are. And that's just their nature. That's it. For me, because I can't tell you about you, but I can tell you about me. And I have moments where I fight against my nature. And if you watch and follow us, Jay Sims the Lion and myself, every Thursday at 7, We do a book study. And right now we're studying the 48 laws of power. Most times we take maybe an hour and a half. Well, we shoot for an hour, but it never gets to be an hour. It's an hour and a half. It might get close to 2, but we take each chapter and we rip it apart. And then we demonstrate how it matches up with what the everyday man is facing in life. And then we try to provide a clear interpretation of it. But the thing is about this book is that it reveals much. And you have to know who you are to get the most value out of it. And that's the thing that we all have to do. So nature. So I'm going to loop back around. That little girl I was talking to was fighting against her nature. She's one of the biggest behavior problems we have. And she's constantly fighting against the nature. And if people look fatigued, they are fatigued. You can tell someone that's fighting against their nature because they're tired all the time. But you have to look for it because it doesn't look like normal tired. What would happen is they would be, let's say someone who has a lot of bravado, someone who is putting themselves out there. They're the biggest, they're the baddest on the block. And when they're in front of people, that's what they put out. And they have to maintain that all the time. But then when you see them walk off and they get around the corner by themselves, or they get in their car to drive away, they do this. They can drop the shield. So when you do that for a sustained period of time, I mean, it's tiring. And that's what this little girl was doing. But I don't know where we went wrong to think that something good is actually bad. And I know the thing about the hood, and I know about the hood mentality and all that. But what happened? How can we get these kids back before it's too late? Because that's the hard thing about it. We let them go. These people train them these ways, and they go and they go for so long. And then we wait until they're out of high school and young adults to try to fix them. But we can't fix them then. You got to catch it early. You know what? It's like cancer. This thing is like cancer. With cancer, the earlier you catch it. No, let me put my chair up. With cancer, the earlier you catch it, right? The easier it is to treat it before it gets to stage 4. You catch it in stage 1, maybe they can do some operations. They can cut it out and biopsy it, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Stage 2, okay, we might have to start thinking about some chemo, some radiation therapy. Stage 3, you definitely getting that. You getting the radiation all day long. Stage 4, you got to throw the full boat at it and hope you living. So what's happening to our children is that they are in stage 3 by the time we look at them to try to fix it. They're trying to train them because we're complaining about how they behave in public, how they're cheating their children, all of those things that we complain about. We got to catch it early. So here at the Book of Man, this is the reason why we're going through these books and posting all these things to give these gentlemen some ammunition to help their children. We got to do it. We got to do it. Because if you don't, I just hope I'm dead before they get to be too old and they run in the world. I'm quite sure people say the same thing about us, but we don't want them to be like that. But that's where we at, man. Man, I'm gonna hit on something else, man. I'm gonna change gears real quick, 'cause that was something that happened to me, and I thought it was interesting. Speaking about habits and our natures and things that we've dug ourselves into, because it's still related to that. So a while back, I did a talk, but actually it was a sermon. I'm gonna call it a sermon. I'm gonna say what it is and not try to hide it. I did a sermon, and it was called Cruise Ship Problems. Cruise ship problems. And the thing is, some of us have cruise ship problems. So let me explain what cruise ship problems is. If you ever been on a cruise ships are really big. Even the smallest Carnival ship is big. I mean, they're about a quarter of a mile long. So that's pretty big. And they're probably about 300 to 400 feet wide. And here's the thing. With something that big, once it gets start going, it's not easy to turn it around. It don't turn around on a dime like a car. But you kind of have to slow down and then kind of take a long way to turn around. That's how it is with our problems. That's why we have these cruise ship problems. And this is the key to why a lot of people's efforts to break bad habits or to start new habits don't succeed. Because they don't realize that they have cruise ship problems. It's a problem that started a long time ago. And it's picked up a good head of steam. And they're trying to turn it around in a couple weeks and get upset because it doesn't work. But that's a cruise ship problem. Here's an example. You know, the biggest thing is weight. With our weight, you know, we grew up eating certain things. We grew up with certain diets. We grew up, with fast food and fast food and microwave food. Food with a lot of sodium and salts, a lot of sugars. I mean, half of us, we grew up drinking Kool-Aid. And I tell you what, this, I laugh about this even to this day. My mother-in-law, I love her dearly. Really good person. But she makes this punch. And Lord have mercy, I'm telling you no lie. I couldn't even drink. I can't drink it by itself. It's like concentrate. So I have to mix it with like a ton of water to even be able to drink it. But if you grew up with that, that's what you used to. Your sugar tolerance is up and you want to start a healthy lifestyle. You can't turn that on a dime because you have all those cravings, all those things still going on. So what you got to do? You got to slow it down first. We slowing the ship down and then we start to make this wide turn. So what I'm getting to is that the goals that you set, the things that you do, if it's breaking a habit or starting a new habit, you got to slow down the old one first. Then you got to make a wide turn. So why you say that, Doc? Why are you telling people this? Well, I want to see us be successful. And I see it all the time. Remember, I said adults and kids are the same. I've seen so many kids give up. And I've seen adults give up because they don't get the results they want right away. But sometimes the bigger the change, the longer it's going to take. The bigger the ship is, the bigger your cruise ship problem is, the longer it's going to take to turn it around. So you have to have a realistic expectation of time. But my advice is to break it down into steps. Break it down into steps. Do a little bit at a time. You know what? Look at this. If you want to, let's say you want to lose some weight and you want to do, you want to do that. Well, the first thing you got to do is start drinking more water. Yeah. If you want to stop gambling, the first thing to do is to put your money in a place where you can't get to it easy. Now you're going to lose some battles. I'm going to tell you what, you're going to lose a lot of them. But as long as you keep getting back up, you can win the rest. Because oh my goodness. All right. It's all about winning. And sometimes you lose the win. In the 48 Laws of Power, we talked about that, about what the reason why we fail is because we do not know what power is. We think power is something that we gain, and its strength is being strong and unmovable. But that's not what power is. Power is actually being in control. So let's go back to what I was talking about. If you're trying to change this cruise ship problem, you're trying to change this thing, you have to be in control of yourself. That's the power. And sometimes you lose. Sometimes you lose. But the rest of the time you win. And you know what? I'll say this. You don't lose until you quit. When you quit, that's when you lose. So what you going to do? So yeah, man, that's the cruise ship. I wrote some stuff down here, man. And you know what? We're going to go through all of it because I write a lot. I'm just rambling. You listen to it if you want to. If not, then, but I appreciate the support. And if you're out there listening to me, you want to talk with me, you want to talk about something, you got to ask a question. It's a link down there in the description, and it's a link in the comment. Go ahead and click it. You can come on up and, man, we'll talk whatever you want to talk about. I'm versatile. I can do all kind of things. I mean, if you're a mechanic and want to talk about cars, let's go. You want to talk about history, black history? Let's do it. You want to talk about religion and the Bible? I'm here for it. So whatever you want to do. So, all right, here go the next thing. I wrote this down. I'm gonna find exactly what I wrote, and here it is. Macro and micro, and how you feel and how you move through life is all about how you look at it. We spend too much time looking at the micro, or we spend too much time looking at the macro. So let me explain that. The micro, that's the zoom in close, like microscope. So you get the up close look and you see all the tiny details of things. If you spend too much time in the micro, looking at every detail, you'll always be angry. You'll always be upset because you spent all of your time looking at every little detail. The biggest thing going on right now is the relationship between black men and women, or men and women in general. And to that, I say that a lot of them are spending too much time looking at the micro. They look close at one person, what one person does, and they try to put it on everything. Paul, appreciate you, brother. Hey, if you want to come on up, man, it's open to click the link right down there. But let me tell you something, man, that about looking at that micro, especially in terms of relationships and people. When you look at one person and you say that this man is lazy, he doesn't work, he's a deadbeat, he's this and that, or if you're a man and you see a woman and you say all she wants to do is steal my money or use me for this or that. But that's that one person. But everybody's not like that. So looking at life in the micro causes you too much stress if you stay there too long. Because you're looking at one thing. I mean, think about it. Think about how many people commit suicide. And most of the time they commit it because they're looking at life in the micro. They see what's going on with them right there, and it's too much. It's overwhelming. If you ever looked in a microscope and you looked at a hair or a bunch of sand, and when you first looked at it, it's zoomed in super close. You don't even know where it is. If you have one of these phones, finally got me a new phone right here with all the cameras on the back and all that, but it has like 100x zoom. So I'm taking pictures of things, and when you put it on 100x, you don't even know what you're looking at. Everything looks a mess. That's what living life in the micro is. And you keep living like that. I mean, think about folks who, stuff gets bad. I'm not even going to front. It gets bad. It gets real bad. There's people out there that's lost jobs. They do have a job, but they don't make enough to do the things they need to do. It's anything like that. They're not making enough money. They got to feed the kids. They got to do all of this stuff. And when you live in survival mode, because a lot of us living in survival mode and we don't even know it. We just used to reacting, and that was in the 48 laws of power too. The quote said, matter of fact, I'm going to say exactly what it said because I wrote it down. your idea of power is wrong. And the question was, why am I reacting to events instead of directing them? I never feel in control. When you live your life in the micro, you will never feel in control, because you're zooming in on those one thing. You're zooming in on something close. But it's necessary to sometimes take a step back and look at things in the macro. The macro is a wide view of things. And living in the macro for too long also is not good. Because when you live in the macro, that leads to stereotypes. Because you're taking such a far step back at things, and you're looking at the world from high up, and you see patterns and realize things and see things. But you do not see the microscopic view of these things. You don't see that. That's living in the macro. That's where we get these stereotypes from. So to be healthy, you're going to have to be able to zoom in and zoom out as needed. You know, sometimes when you're working on something right then, or you got something you got to solve, you got to zoom into it. You got to take a micro look at it. You look at it microscopically to figure out what steps you need to take next, what things you need to do, you know. But then other times you will have to take some steps back and look at the macro. I'm gonna talk about business for a second. In business, and this also relates to the 48 laws of power. So y'all check this out. One of the laws, the last one we did yesterday. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna say this before I go on. I got plenty of these composition books everywhere. Get you something to write in. Get a book, a notebook, a pad, get something, and start writing your ideas and thoughts down, things that stick out to you, write them down. And it's important to write it with your hand. Get a pen, a pencil, a crayon, a color pencil, I don't care, a marker, anything, but write it down with your hand. And this is why that's important. When you write things with your hand, you focus on it more, because you have to think about how to spell the words. You have to think about how to form the letters, and it's an action. It connects the physical with the mental. So get you something and write the stuff down. Now, this is what I wrote. Back to the micro and micro. Get law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Now, for business people, that's this, and this is how zooming in and out works. So, as a business person, or as a leader, let's say the leader of your family. So this applies to everybody. If you were that person who is in charge of something, you have to lead people somewhere. This is for you. You take the macro look, because you need to see the pitfalls that's coming ahead. You need to look out, and you need to fill those holes before it happens, so your people can be safe. As the head of a household, as a man with a family, with wife and children, you always have to be on point. You always have to look ahead, because if you don't, it could spell disaster for your whole family, everybody. But here's the thing. Always taking that macro look causes pain sometimes. Because the truth is, sometimes you have to zoom in and take the micro look. Now, let me explain this to you. I saw a meme or a picture, I don't know, whatever it is. I saw this the other day. And it was a story with it. It was about a man who was working. And he caught every overtime shift. He caught everything in the world. I mean, he was, the same, how we do. If they paying, I'm staying. I always say that if they paying, I'm staying, working at overtime, working 6-7 days a week. But his children were being neglected by him. And what happened is the boy, he came to the dad, and the dad say, son, What can I do for you? How you doing? I'm kind of tired. I'm laying down. I'm tired. I've been working, but hey, I'm making $45 an hour. So, they paying, I'm staying. I got to do it. And the boy had his hand balled up. Asked his dad to hold out his hand. And in his hand, he had about 8 quarters, and he put them in dad's hand. And he said, I know it's not $45, but would that be enough to pay for some of your time? In this particular instance, the man was taking a macro look at things. And all he knew is I had to work. I got to make this money. My family need this, and that. But he didn't take a micro look at the members of his family. His own son had to take his savings, his meager savings, and pay his dad just to spend time with him, to watch him play something. Are we hurting that bad to where we have to work overtime week after week after week after week? I think that's not living within your means, or I think it's the fact that we locked into that. As men, we locked into that. We know we got to work. I got to go to work. I got to put my head down. I got to go to work. I got to provide. I got to make this thing happen. But that's macro living. Now, I say this, it's good for that for a season. You go in, you work that hard for a season, but then you got to take another time off. I know people right now who have vacation time every year and never use it. Paid vacation. They have sick days that they never cash in on. But the way society is structured, they have these things for us. So think about it, man. Macro versus micro. Man, that's the deal right there. So you got to be able to zoom in and zoom out at all times. That's the big thing. All right, man. Let's go. I got some comments here. Oh yeah, man. All right, we're gonna go here. So I posted a video in the Facebook group. It was Darnell Rollins, and he was talking about how black fathers are not what people make them out to be, and how people think that we are something that we not. And here's the bad thing about it, man. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, even according to the CDC, black fathers are like the number one fathers. We do everything. But people refuse to believe it. I see this every day. Black fathers, even white fathers, Indian fathers, all of them. I see it every day. I work at a school that's got a mixture of people. And this is what I see in the mornings, because I'm outside. I get the kids out the cars. I greet them. I go, the parent pull up. I walk out there. I open the door. I tell the people inside good morning, so the kid can come in at least with something positive. Now I'm gonna tell you some of the stuff that I see. This one time I opened the door, and it was I want to say it was a grandma. I don't know what it was, but man, she was cussing these kids out so bad. I got scared and shut that door back because I wasn't trying to mess with that lady. But they got to start with that. Or I see another one is, it's this mother that drops off her daughter every day. I say, good morning, everybody. And all I get is a mean look. The mom has a mean look. The daughter has a mean look. I guess they call that rest in B face, huh? But I'm going to tell you what I think about that, because I think people do that because they feel like doing that. Your face just don't look like that. God didn't make you like that. You trained the muscles in your face to turn down a certain way because you kept putting that facade up. But I see that. But then sometimes, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It's mothers out there that's you know, hey, I love you. Have a good day. Be special. Do all that. They do it too. But the dads is what I want to talk about. Because when I see them, it's one or two. Well, all right. No, I never see a dad, somebody that I know as a dad, treat their children the way that I see some of the mothers do. I never see it. They hug them, they kiss them, they get them packed up, make sure they got everything they need to have a successful day. And even when I tell them, hey, good morning, brother, you know, they say it back. The kids love their fathers. It's there. I see it every day. So you can't tell me that that statistic is not true and the stereotype is wrong. You know, and people discredit the study because they say, well, the CDC is for diseases, Center for Disease Control. But it's a reputable source. It's a reputable source. Yeah, they study diseases and stuff, but they also study other things. You know, you have a Samsung phone, but you don't get mad because you have a Samsung television. They make phones. Oh shoot, but they can make TVs too. It's ridiculous. But you know, while I'm on this track, I mean, let's talk about reputable sources. Oh, we got all right, let me throw him up. Julio ATL in the house, man. Come on in.
What's good, man?
Hey, what's up, brother, man? I'm glad you make it in with me.
Yeah, I just got back. Actually, let me turn these off. I got delayed these.
Okay.
Let me turn these off.
Yeah, I'm just here ranting, talking. J Sims the Lion is out today because his daughter's birthday, so he's here in the port. So you know, I'm gonna hold it down for a little while and throw some stuff out there. All right.
Here we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Oh yes, sir. We in there, man. What you got for me?
Nothing, man. The black father topic kills me.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like, way the media portrays us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna completely blame black women, but they keep that up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we as black men do the same thing to them, and we gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that earlier. You know, I said that when people live their life, you know, I had the whole thing about living your life in the micro or the macro. And when you live your life in the micro, you look at every little detail at one thing. And a lot of people, they look at men, they look at their one man and think all men have this bad thing because they're looking at it in the micro, or they see that woman and think all of them are like this because they're living it in the micro. But the macro, you got to step back and take a big look and see that everybody is an individual. So I'm definitely with you on that.
And the one who are damaged from their father for whatever reason. They go looking for that, and I don't understand why you look for something that damaged you.
Yeah, but they you know, I think that I would say now I'm not going to absolve men of the whole thing because there's some of us that's just scumbags. Some of us are.
There's ain't spit people,
Mm-hmm.
both men and women.
Oh yeah, but I do think sometimes in that same spot I was talking about macro and micro. I think that we are programmed to do a certain thing. We programmed to work. We are programmed to work. We programmed to go out there and get it. And I told a story about the man who worked overtime all the time, 6-7 days a week, and his boy came up to him, had his hand clenched with 8 quarters in it, and he had his dad hold out his hand and put the money in his hand and said, "Is that enough to buy some of your time?" We get, we get lost in working and hustling and providing that we forget to take a micro look at our families.
No, I mean that's the reason I work is to do stuff for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can say there's opportunities for me to spend more time with them, but the thing that I have is what they have. I want to do what I want to do with them, and they want to do what they want to do with me, and it don't always meet up. So it's a give and take.
Oh yeah, but I guess what I was really talking about is and I guess we can circle back round to the topic though, is how some of our brothers, all we know how to do is work. They have unused vacation days every year. Sick time they never take.
Not me. I'm telling you, the company's gonna run whether I show up, I get fired or whatever. Continue to run. And the day I get fired is the day they're gonna hire somebody else and replace me.
Oh, for sure. But I look at it.
Employee number.
Oh, all day long. We all got we got that. All right. So, Paul said you got had some echo, but you fixed that. But yeah, but I say this, man, that we I just think we get stuck on that providing thing. Like how much is too much? How much you willing to trade? I got a partner, man, who work out at the ports, and he was like, man, I can't, I got to stop. He's working 7 days a week. 7 days a week for months.
No, I'm good.
See, and so that's what I'm talking about. Now, I understand, we got to provide, we got to do all this stuff, but I guess we gotta sometimes take a step back or take a step in to look at the people that we taking care of.
Bro, I'm not even before the pandemic, we were at the point of we're gonna take 2 cruises a year. Then the pandemic hits, do it.
Yeah.
This year, I'm taking. It's gonna be three cruises.
Mm-hmm.
I got one in April, one in June, and then Christmas one. There, some friends of ours they want them for that. So we're
right.
End up doing that.
Okay.
Nah, bro, I'm not working to kill myself. I'm working to enjoy life.
Exactly. Because what we did. We packed up and drove across the country. We just drove. Just went and did it.
I can't send the car that long.
It wasn't that bad though. You know what? Because you drive as far as you want to. So we just, we drove. We didn't have a plan. We just knew we was going on a route. So we just drove and then stopped when we got ready.
Was it like? Because I know I seen y'all, but I didn't follow it intently. Was it like I-20 cross or
I-10?
I-10. Okay, so I-10 and whatever it led to, it just led to.
Yeah, we knew it ended up in Santa Monica. So like we jumped on in Jacksonville and just stayed on I-10 the whole time through all the states, and then it's a sign that says the end of I-10, and you hit Santa Monica Pier right there.
That's cool. I may do that. But y'all have dogs with y'all too?
Yeah, we had our one little dog.
No. Not mine. My Shih Tzu Terrier, which is he just breathes really hard in car rides for no reason.
Look, my boy Paul is in the house. Paul, what's up, man? All right, Paul. All right, this my boy Julio. Known each other for a long time. Just met Paul a couple weeks ago, man. He's a solid brother. So what you got on the topic, Paul?
I was listening, and one of the things I've come to understand is that we can't focus on little things way much. Like those things cause the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I've heard this quote that says, look from things from the earth. It's hard. Basically, what it said was, when you look from things from the ground, you only see ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tight because you got trees and everything else. When you look from a higher perspective or different view, things kind of smooth that stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
You can think different. You don't get so emotional about.
Right. Yeah, man, and that's the truth. You know, Julio had to step off. He just wanted to drop in real quick, but he had some stuff to do, but he stepped off. But that's right, man, because I wrote that down last week, you know, looking at life in the micro versus the macro. And that's a thing that gets us, man. When you focus on that one thing too much, and, you know, it's leading to what I was talking about, you know. Oh, they're saying you got a little echo going on. But I think that's just that's just I think that's the nature of the thing. You know, with the speaker and stuff like that. I think that's just how it goes. But while I got you, man, and I realized I didn't hook up with you this week, so we can try to get you on to talk about talk about you and the stuff that you want to do. Especially stuff with crypto, man, and all of that. So you got any of those things you want to talk about right quick? I mean, this impromptu is nothing prepared. Just, you know,
yeah.
Or maybe your journey, man. You talk about you. You know, I'm going to ask you some questions about that. I mean, we had a good conversation about that.
Sure. I have no problems with that. So me personally, I'm Savannah, Georgia. Born I have a son. I'm very proud of. Because he's my son. I think that when we start being proud of kids because they are kids, when they go through their troubles and they we can discipline them better.
Yeah.
But been here most of my life. I've been in an area about 7 years ago. Just came back, and I have this experience and benefit of learning how to trade currencies, crypto. I have a benefit of learning about cryptocurrency. Business different sorts. I have a lot of instruction, my background. So and plus I'm a man of God. So that's the most part.
There you go. I'm with you, brother. I mean, you know, we in the same boat. I mean, I have my own feelings about crypto. I mean, it's a way to you know, it's a solid investment right now. You can make some money off of it. The thing that gets me with it though is that you gotta watch it. You know, it's not one of them things that you can, like, you know, back in the day you can just dump some money in there and just let it ride. And you can go do some other stuff.
Well, that you can watch it, but there's a different thing that you can track your currencies that you hold. So you don't have to actually watch it. Hey, I have one platform I use, Twitter.com, and it gives me alerts on my phone that I'm invested in. If you're going to try trade, then yes, concept. If you're making this an event, like most people did, stocks never came out. Then you put money in. Well, you do your research first.
Yeah.
Your research first.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you right there before you continue. You said do your research. So what is that? I mean, like, what does that look like? What should people do for the research?
Okay. So there's a study of cryptocurrencies called tokenomics.
Okay.
Tokenomics is basically when you go into a token and you're looking at it. Do your research. The white paper. The white paper is like a give me a second. It's like a mission statement. So it's exactly what the coin does. Who's all involved? Where they're positioning. What's the goal of the token?
Right.
This is very, very important. It tells you about market cap. Which is one reason why I really like crypto tokens appreciate instead of getting inflated.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Whereas we're going through these things right now with the American dollar. I think the last time I look at it, 7%, which is a good inflation. But in crypto, and that's only because we continue to print money whenever the government feels like. Well, crypto appreciates because most tokens have market cap is the most amount of tokens ever minted.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get into the right token, me personally, I invest for long term.
Mm-hmm.
So I put my money in, my economic, and I'm just my investments ride out as if somebody would stop or for KP.
Yeah.
So there can't look at all day trade. However, a person wants to invest and say, hey, look, I ain't gonna worry about this 5 years, 10 years. Most people think until what, 15 years in?
Mm-hmm.
And with a penalty, get money early.
Yeah.
Well, you make a 5-year investment in crypto, put money wherever you want.
Right.
No penalty. Just one is why I like crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Us banks are becoming
Mm-hmm.
because crypto allows you to borrow and lend money.
Right. Well, I might take another look at it, especially if we can get you on to kind of talk about some of that stuff. And I know you're kicking off your platform soon with some advice and stuff like that. So hopefully some of the people that tune in here can jump over there too, and maybe we can learn something about this crypto stuff and also get some encouragement. But definitely, man, I want to get with you, and maybe we can like talk about the research process. What things to look for. How do you know this is it? Because there's so much information coming in everywhere.
Right.
And people, some of it is on a level where regular folks don't get it. They can't understand it.
And that's okay because when credit cards first came out,
mm-hmm.
a lot didn't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't want to have. So this is just another stage in life. We're moving forward. We're getting better. We're advancing. So that we know that when new things come, first thing that's going to happen is a lot of people discredited it.
Mm-hmm.
But we continue to do our search and be smart and intelligent about what we're doing. The crypto space, I feel like very well. A lot of people, normal people like us, who don't have a wealthy background, party from low beginning, have now retired from over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. And and I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit. I got a little bit. So I'm not totally against it. It's just one of those things that I guess when I see it, it's so many out there, which one to get, which one is going to reign supreme. But also I was doing a project and I was just joking around at the school and I was like, yeah, we can make our own crypto coins. So I started looking up and said, okay, how I can make my own crypto. So I looked it up, and the process, you know a little bit of coding, you do some of that, and then you get some people to start using it. It's a little process, but it's not terribly extensive. And I'm like, well, I can make my own crypto. So
I mean, this use case is one of the main ways I pick coins that I invest in. Because there's something called rug pulls.
Mm-hmm.
Where people make a coin.
Yep.
Don't have no usage. It'll get a lot of hype. Have a lot of people in it.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is once token reaches where the originators want to be at, or they can pull all the money out.
Yep.
The coin price drops to zero, and everybody got in.
That's right.
Left with
and they call that, I think they can like destroy tokens or destroy coins. I can't remember what they called it, but they do that when they grow so big. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so burning does take supply out of circulation.
Mm-hmm.
Never go back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when the United States has a bunch of old damaged dollars.
Mm-hmm.
They burn dollars from out of circulation. But what that does, cryptocurrencies that's less and less in the month.
Yep.
So they drive price up.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of cases.
Yep.
Not every time. A lot.
That's it, man. Well, definitely let me know when you get ready. Then we can get on here, and then you can give us a quick lesson for that, and it's a good segue into your content, and then we in there, man.
Yes, and anybody wants to tap in with me, have restrictions on Facebook or trending up TREN capital NUP on Instagram.
Okay, there we go. Trending up on Instagram. All right. So, man, anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to say?
Not. I would drop in there. You had a great topic this morning. And then I wanted to come talk with you anyway.
Oh, for sure, man. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Brought me in.
Oh, definitely, man. You're always welcome over here.
Well, we'll talk to y'all and thank everybody for coming on.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you.
All right, man. Be easy. Okay. So we here. That was Paul. We had Julio come in. Man, thank all y'all for dropping in. I just was rambling about all kinds of things. And, I enjoyed it, man. I might do a little more of that. Let's see what's what. Yeah, we can go from there. So anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. We got some stuff to do. Today is Saturday. Weather warming up. So yeah, let's go get some stuff in, man. So I'm going to go ahead and get this music on. And y'all remember, man, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, 48 Laws of Power, book study. Y'all drop on in for that. Now this one, I may or may not be here. I got a job coming up out of town. So hopefully I'll be back in time. If not, Jay Sims the Lion got it. He's a very smart man and very well-read and learned gentleman. So he'll be able to do the things we need to do. So book study on Thursday at 7, and every Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, we will be here. Sometimes we have a guest. Sometimes it's me and the Lion. Sometimes it might be him and it might just be the Lion, but you're always welcome to come in and chop it up with us. So, but yeah, that's it, man. Everybody be blessed. Remember, young man, old man, and boy, that you are important, you are valued, you are special, and you're not just a workhorse. You're not just a concubine. You're not just a serf. You're not just a provider, but you are a man. So with that, Book of Man, we love y'all and we out. Peace.